let's see if it is going to be a nail biter, Chisto, as we are going to head on to the patrolling phase of our first round, second half. IMP with a lead in points. So right now, let us see if Tuffy Fair is going to make some magic work in here.
So while we're on the patrol phase right now, let's talk real quick about what Devil Tuffy actually does bring to the table for his team. So one of his abilities will allow him to duplicate a nearby item that synergizes well with the other one of his abilities, which allows him to draw in one item that he can throw at the cat to himself. So he doesn't really need to walk up and pick it up. He can draw it near towards him and toss it at the cat that way. So he is one of those mice that can hinder the cat from chasing down the rest of his team by using those throwable items, and he can create multiple throwable objects to use here. So could be a very fun one for the mice here if they are able to utilize that well.
And this is going to be the dispatch phase. I like it how he is constantly using his invisibility to really catch them off guard. So into the patio area, spots in the magician. I don't think the magician was able to see him yet, but this is a good opportunity for Robin Hood Jerry to push that cheese in the early seconds of our game.
Yeah, about a minute into our dispatch phase right now, and Fair is still invisible, still waiting for his chance to pounce, for his chance to strike against these mice. Who was just standing right in front of him. Pretty aggressive move here coming out from the mice of IMP.
Yeah, and mouse are going to be set into that door area just so he could get notified if there are some mice trying to go in there. So again, pipes is going to be used towards the stairs area up onto the bell towers. So he is notified that the magician was trapped. Will be heading onto the escape, but you know what? Fair onto his knees is going to capture him onto his hands and place him in the highest area of the map.
Yeah, should put him in a pretty good spot here. Of course, looking here, if Fair is able to dispatch all of the mice in order to win here without them pushing in the wedges of cheese, it will put his team in a pretty good spot, as IMP were only able to score 2 points in the first half. So let's see what he can actually do here. Is chasing down Mouseketeer Tuffy here, who is pretty low on health at the moment, and Lightning as a cat, you really can't run away from him very long, because he is very mobile. You saw him use his abilities there, able to dash forward and grab Mouseketeer Tuffy.
Yeah, but in the process, we are seeing that Robin Hood Jerry was able to push the wedge of cheese into that mouse hole. So they just need 2 more. And you know what? Devil Tuffy is onto that as well, getting that 4th cheese on a roll. That was very quick pace right there. And I think Magician Jerry already notified them that the cheese is finally onto the bell tower side, so they are able to go for the save. So went into the pipes right here. So let's see. Ooh, he fell down last, and Fair abusing that good position that he has will be taking so again for the bag. But in the process, however, the bunny of Magician Jerry was able to transport the cheese into the mouse hole, into the bedroom area. So now I think this can be a potential save by Devil Tuffy here, while the Robin Hood Jerry is gonna help that bunny to go for the push.
Let's see what they can do here. They've sent 2 mice to do the job. They will be able to strap him off from the rocket, but at what cost? It's Magician now who's in trouble. So that's the guy that they can use to summon the rabbits to help them escape. And with that, Magician will unfortunately be rocketed off from the castle just as the escape phase will go down here. Of course, IMP, if they are able to escape and win as the mice right now, they will be able to win game one. So very
Mhm.
crucial that Lightning
Ooh.
doesn't let them escape at the moment.
Okay, but you know what? Defending the crack is going to be tricky if he remains himself there onto the bell towers, because look at that. The crack is located in the patio, and they are making some work done here by actually depleting the bar, or actually destroying that crack over here. Really taking their time, but you know, it could have been nice if they went in a little bit more active, you know, uh attempt to destroy it. So a bubble shield is gonna be hovered here, but you know, easily destroyed by the musketeer Tuffy right there. So he was stunned into the long run right there. So he teleports himself into Robin Hood. Jerry Bruce, however, in a very close position, was able to dodge that. So he is gonna capture Musketeer Tuffy right here. And you know what? In the process, Fair was able to dispatch two of the mice right here.
Yeah, let's see whether or not he will go for the escape. It seems
I think he
like
did. I think he did.
oh, well, one of the mice is still strapped onto a rocket here, so Cat will win by dispatching three of those mice, but scoring wise, I'm not quite sure how that will fare for both of these teams. It might end in a draw actually. Or will the Cat, since he was able to dispatch three of the mice, actually win that for Tuffy? But very, very close game number one. Three mice getting dispatched, one of them escaping in the end.
Mm-hmm.
Tuffy able to
And
bounce back there despite losing the first half.
true. And again, another clutch, you know, plays coming from our cats right here with our respective teams. But you know, although there was one that was able to survive, stats speak for themselves, and you have to take into consideration as well that the mice were doing a pretty good job, and actually, you know, doing making things
One
work there.
point.
But the score, however, is going to be viewed right now as Tuffy only gains a point there, with the team IMP will be gaining 2 points up on their sleeves.
Hey, by dispatching most of the mice during the escape phase, even though they have been allowing the wedges to go through, the mice haven't necessarily been able to escape.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, again, sure, we're going to head on to the picking phase for both sides of our team. Team Tuffy will be the cat again, and for the side of Team IMP will be the mice this time. So still usual, but I think they, oh, actually they made some changes into their compositions right here. Instead of a Robin Hood Jerry, they're gonna opt for that Detective Jerry, Magician Jerry, Devil Tuffy. If I'm not mistaken, the other one was King Jerry.
Yeah,
And
the last one was
mhm,
definitely that King Jerry. Of course, they needed one of those mice to be the rescuer for their side, and two of the best rescuers in the game. It's either you go for King Jerry or Mouseketeer Tuffy. But pretty much standard all across the board. You know, getting the detective, getting the magician. It is looking pretty good now for IMP. They're already up 1-0. They only need to win this second game. And if they are able to escape here and win on the mouse side of things are going to look up for
oof.
them here in game two as we are going to hop right into the patrol phase.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, just really breaking some items right there so that the other mice cannot utilize it later on into the phases of our game. But going back in here, concoctions everywhere for the side of Tom, and they are, you know, really only being thrifty in the usage of robots here, only using one out. And I think with that, it kind of gives them a more stealthy approach as to scouting the cheese right here.
Mhm. All right. Now, like you mentioned, very important to scout out where all of these wedges are located so that you can effectively plan out where you are going to be hovering around the map right now, as 10 minutes dispatch phase right now will begin for the mice.
And early patio placement here for set of Tom pipes his way into the attic. Now we are seeing a grouped together mice right here, and they are gonna go for the push. But the bunny with the magician Jerry there is going to do that job here. Will Detective Jerry is gonna transport the other cheese to another mouse hole, but you know what? Ooh, that was good. Sniping for Fair right there, was able to leave Mix in a half health. And, you know, this is nice. And he is able to spot the other members of the mouse. And, you know, just being here, protecting the mouse that is being pushed is something that you have to take into account.
Yeah. And so far, the mice seem to be working well here in terms of where they are pushing the cheese. Detective Jerry, of course, was able to shove in one of those wedges already. So things already looking up here for IMP. And Fair hasn't really been able to catch out any single one of them. So he has been struggling to get these mice towards the rockets where he wants them to be. I wonder what the play might be for him right now, because he is just kind of hovering around the map, setting some booby traps. Is there? You see Detective Jerry doing a good job of disrupting Tom, using his invisibility, landing that attack.
So, yeah, with only one cheese still that was being pushed by the members of IMP, this is in a slower pace, but you kind of get the idea here as well, because I think they're trying it to, as much as possible, really work their way through our maps right now. So Detective Jerry is the one going to be eyed out right here, so he is gonna force that kiting ability. But you know what, Tom here will add another fork to, you know, delay the pushing of that cheese into that dining room area.
And right now, it seems like the mice are actually going on to a slower pace in terms of how they are pushing the cheese. And as I say that, they will push in their second wedge, but 2 wedges of cheese 3 minutes in is not the quickest, timing for when you have pushed them in. Magician, though, will be summoning that rabbit, which will do some work for them. Finally, they get their third wedge in.
And again, really constantly opening and closing the doors here so that the other mice won't be able to use it against him. So Freezer is going to be open. He will be closing that to avoid getting frozen. So 2 of the cheese are really compressed together in nearby rooms. So I think it's best that they kind of like utilize the cheese in the attic first, and then kind of like lure out Tom here into the kitchen area, just so they can have a breather here in terms of pushing the cheese.
Right now, the mice seem to be in a bit of trouble, as King Jerry actually just gonna get tied up to one of these rockets right now. We are gonna be heading back and forth these troops again. Tom, decide please where you want to stay. Okay, yeah. It's getting pretty dizzy right now.
Yeah, indeed. So again, going back, just I
Tom,
think
come on.
this is a
Help us out here.
Strategy, to actually confuse the other mice. And
I'm confused.
Yeah, he's constantly doing that just so they could, really confuse the other mice into where Tom is actually gonna go for. So actually, he just did that to, really delay the time and to secure King Jerry from being dispatched.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you now. I'm not sure if it worked on the other mice, but it worked on me. For a second there, I didn't know what he wanted to do. He had me properly confused, but he was able to dispatch one of the mice right now. So King Jerry already out of the picture. And now Detective is in a lot of trouble.
Okay, I was a bit of confused right there. I kind of slowed down my brain cells right here with all that pipes coming through. But going back here, they were able to go for the rescue. So let's see. I like it how Zed is just utilizing the dining room area here, transitioning to the living room, and just bouncing his way to cover some distance. So he is under the table. So Tom has I think a rough idea to where the other mice are located at, but Magician Jerry just focused on pushing the cheese onto the bedroom. So this is the final cheese that was pushed. The crack is, however, into the kitchen area, and again, I am still phased about what happened earlier.
Yeah, now he's opening and closing the door. Alright, so it's a pretty flimsy door. It breaks after a couple of times of opening and closing it, but right now Tom will start defending the crack. 3 against 1. Still a bunch of mice left here. He's gonna try to escape, and it's very convenient that he was able to turn invisible right now.
And yeah, convenient it is, and I think it kind of took an ample amount of time right there to actually go and just and actually look for the crack right there. Man, I'm having a bit of a laggy head right there due to earlier. But going back here, Sora is going to be our kiter for this match, but was able to be caught by Tom.
It's the pipe strat, I'm telling you, it works.
Yeah, it's the pipe strat, indeed. I agree.
Alright, so he did tie up Detective here. Now, let's see how the rest of the mice play this. A lot of them are fairly injured. One of them did get rescued, but at what cost? Magician gonna get tied up. Uh-oh. Things not looking good here for both sides.
Okay. So, alright, he was able to capture Devil Tuffy over here with a little brink of HP bar. Okay, the crack is open, so let's see if they can go for the escape. Actually, no, because Magician Jerry was captured by Tom here. So let's see. Okay, one is going to be dispatched. They don't have enough time to actually save Magician Jerry back there. So only one is going to escape right here. And Tuffy going for that cup and making me see a very interesting